punish this inexperienced member on the side of LGD.
See how he goes, because it's LGD's first game, first series of the split here in 2021. The LPL continues, and 7 days a week, baby. I'm not going to tell you what day it is because I look at the calendar and it says Saturday. So day number 6. And let those gyros ring out as we enter Summoner's Rift. And LGD, their debut is going to be widely eyed. The potential invade to start off the game.
LGD definitely having a decently strong level 1 coming out from the Pantheon point and click stun. I don't necessarily know if you'd really want to run into an Olaf. Maybe just potentially trying to spot out what V5 can do, and maybe we're going to see them go for a late deep ward onto V5's red buff.
Which is exactly what they're doing, is a 3-man unit, or at least starting the red. Pretty quick leash here with all 3 available, and they begin.
Yeah, and V5 don't know. We actually just saw V5 ping out LGD's blue buff, so this is just going to be a very cheeky steal coming out from Quay. I wonder if he's just going to go from V5's red buff to his own and try to stop any sort of like cross map or trading coming out, but we actually just do see him going straight to the Raptors. So V5's bottom lane going to feel a lot of pressure.
Yeah, so this kind of counters what you're talking about in draft, where V5 wanted to approach Trigger and PP God and set them up for success. Trigger already at half health, getting poked down from Garvey and Chance. Kill threat very high, remember, when Kaiser takes Halo Blades in this lane and Chance tries to play aggressive for that level 2.
We got to remember, Alistar isn't really much of a champion at level 1, and Set is extremely strong. We see many times where Set just blows Flash, goes for that E, and tries to trade Summoner for Summoner. LGD's bottom lane hitting level 2 just guarantees that even more. V5's job here is their bot lane needs to try and stay healthy and hit 2 so they can't get dove. I think they should be fine. LGD look like they are crashing in the wave maybe a bit too fast. So I'm expecting Trigger and PP God should be fine.
And pings were going down, so V5 are actually aware that Quay's here by the looks of it. The vertical jungling starting in the top side, well now here's the dive. Level 3, they want to kill Trigger, who tries to flash away. Immediately after the Haymaker comes through, Quay's on him though. One more Q necessary. Trigger is going to get welcomed to the LPL with first blood over to Quay.
Yeah, I was wrong. Great play coming out from LGD. They had the damage, they had a bit of a wave. It almost looked a bit dicey. A lot of summoners had to be blown, but they still walk away with the kill, and Trigger also having to blow both of his summoner spells.
You want to ask what's the response, because Wei at level 4 on top of Colt, but he drops a ward, finds out. Is it going to be a reverse dive?
It definitely will. We already see Mole on his way up. The wave is here. Can Colt outplay?
Ooh, TP from V5, further commit, it's Mole, but the Gallows coming up as well. Colt tries to flash away. Scatterweek connects though. W on top of that as Wei gets stunned up. And down he goes. LGD just counter, and V5 can't get it done.
Yep, sadly for V5, they are not used to making these kind of plays, as we saw. Nice W coming out from Colt to lock down Wei. They sadly just didn't have enough first. Colt expending the flash to stay alive. And so far, massive win for the side of LGD. They're winning on the side they're investing resources in, and now winning on the side they're putting absolutely nothing into saving. So LGD having a very good start to this early game.
Great start. Quay's getting everything on the map. We'll have a look at this again though, Lyric, because Colt, you're right, survived for a long time.
Yeah, just, nice flash over to make sure that Longshin can't get the knockup, then throws out the W as well, which ends up bringing Wei back. Of course, Wei didn't take the flash, he did take the ghost this game, which, does have a bit more use, like extended use overall. The flash just being a one-time thing, ghost obviously working over duration, but in this case, it did come back to bite him. And like I said, LGD in a good spot. They almost have a 1K gold advantage. And it feels like for V5, you're going to be relying a lot on Mole trying to find an advantage in this winning matchup in the mid lane.
He'll have to move down. He's got Tier to start this game off. But remember, he invested teleport into that play as well. He's already halfway walking up to the top side. But now that summoner's down, if something goes wrong with Mole, if Mole's not able to move and loses out on this mid wave, then the V5 are going to crash and burn just that little bit faster. At 5 minutes into the game, that's a massive gold lead. And we'll see where they can affect on the map, how they can stop the potential snowball that comes out of early Pantheons with this kind of advantage.
And Mo also does have to be very respectful of LGD's comp, right? We have point-and-click stun coming out from Quay and a very easy taunt to land from Uniboy. So V5 are definitely on the defensive end of things right now. It feels like you're kind of waiting for some of these summoners supposed to come back up before you can really look to make aggressive plays. If Trigger does walk too far forward without his flash or cleanse, he will just be punished and instantly bursted.
What timing this is though, Lyric, because Ward just expired for V5 in the bottom side. Quay comes in with the control ward and 3 versus 3. PP God gets a knock up onto Chance, but he's got a haymaker ready to blow. Trigger goes on him, but he's only level 4. S-Class means nothing as Trigger will die in a response. A 1-for-1 as Quay is healthy as ever. And Garvey's running forward, no flash to follow up, but a Q to snipe down. Quay gets Way, and all the way for LGD in this early game.
LGD had the wave near the side of the map. They were slow pushing it in, giving time for Quay to come down towards the bottom side. We talked about this in the segment before the game. V5 are very predictable with where they like to put their resources. LGD read it well, and they pick up 2 kills.
In their home arena, V5 debuting in Shenzhen for the first time, and LGD are smacking them across the face. Almost a 2,000 gold lead at 6.5 minutes into the game. Quay has a bounty, Lyric, and he's going to get the dragon. He's probably going to go back and be so close to an early gore drinker as well.
I mean, he's already sitting on the Iron Spike Whip, which is absolutely massive for him. And Uniboy just flashing the emote now. And one thing we need to keep our eye on is now LGD are going to start having this global pressure. It's going to be very hard for V5 to make any plays around the bottom side of the map when Uniboy can always be there first to answer. And I think LGD will probably turn out to be the team that will be more of the aggressors now. You're going to have a very easy time as whether it is Chance or Quay getting onto the likes of Trigger or Mole. It's going to be very easy for both Uniboy and Garvey to follow up.
It also makes a lot of sense when we haven't seen Uniboy's ult yet. So we're waiting for that. We also know that Colt, with World Ender around these skirmishes is going to be pretty impactful if he joins. Chance just looking for the chase after Trigger, who they're bullying out in this lane. Lyric across the board, there's not really CS leads, but the kills make up the difference in lanes that we knew a lot of the time V5 would take control in.
V5, playing around early game skirmishes was always their bread and butter that brought them to a top 6 standing in playoffs. So seeing them not be able to recreate the same advantages they found in summer is quite weird. There is something interesting in terms of items that I want to pivot to that we've seen a lot of but not talk too much about was the new Ionian Boots of Lucidity, the buff they got up to 20 ability haste. I'm sure all fans who've been watching LOL Esports see that pretty much everyone buys these. And just to give context in terms of value, the old Lucidity Boots gave you 10 CDR. These new ones giving you 20 ability haste is about 17 CDR, so pretty massive buff and change from those old cooldown boots. So I think we are going to see it on pretty much all roles, all types of champions. We see supports by them every game.
Bit of a Starfall top lane, but you're right. It seems pretty strong at the moment. I might have to continue to interrupt as Lungxing wants the engage. The Searing Charge at the ready. Colt has gone into the World Ender as Undertow connects. Way on the chase, but Colt has quite a bit of sustain as his hero's entrance. It's going to lock down Lungxing as Ragnarok to get out. Way doesn't want to go back into this fight, and Uniboy has dissuaded enough, but PP God's made the roam. Quay flashes immediately, showing respect, but Chance is here as well. 4v4 in the top lane just got so interesting. As a haymaker not needed, Chance has gotten a further engage. Lungxing taking the ignite down. Uniboy with the haymaker, the winds of war, he survives, if only just.
And it's great to see LGD are the ones going for the aggressive play, V5's following up, but then we see all the reactive tools that LGD have, bringing Uniboy into the play, Chance being a bit late to follow up, but still, LGD are the ones who come out with a health advantage that is going to translate to this Rift Herald, and both AD carries just left in the bottom lane farming. Of course, is great for Garvey, who already has an advantage.
Yeah, he's 1-0-2, but just noting on this Rift Herald as well, Lyric, we talk about this a lot, where to put it and how it enables your composition. What do you want to see from LGD with the early objectives they've obtained? Yes, Chance is going to get out.
I expect to see LGD go and put it towards the bottom lane. The fact that they already have 3 plates down and it is where their pressure point on the map is just means it's very easy for them to drop, take that turret, and then start changing around their lane assignments and play more for the side lanes.
Okay, well, watch the jungler because Quay moving directly down there. He doesn't have the Starfall anymore. It's on about a 25-30 second cooldown until it comes back up. And we also have to talk about his itemization. He's not there yet, but still ahead. While Weiwei's trying to get that farm advantage in the jungle to try and catch up.
I also want to see just how Trigger ends up playing out this game when you're up against an Aatrox, a Galio, a Pantheon, anytime he tries to pop in with that ultimate, right, there's just so many ways to CC him, lock him down, and just instantly delete him from the fight. We talked about how V5 have some ways to play off of range or even like disengage as I shut up.
Oh, Mole has just teleported into potential death. Good scout of the week to survive, but he's teleported into a lane that he might have to leave soon anyway.
Mole doesn't teleport into potential death hysterics. Mole knows exactly what will happen at all times. It was all planned, and he knows what he's doing.
You're now the Mole apologist. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'll ever accept that defense. At the very least, he survives, right? So, you know, yeah, you're right. Mole comes back in. He's still up 15 CS, and he got the last chapter off that back as well. And as he comes back in, crucial timing, because Dragon's spawning in 30 seconds, so a good time to be alive if you're V5, and a good time to potentially look for bot as well.
Mole definitely not able to look for a recall after he lost that much health with the fact that Dragon was coming up in 30 seconds. Has to stay around, does have a bunch of corrupting pot stacks. Actually used all three as Colt's going aggressive.
If launching the assassin they need. Call the Fort God was already used. Bella's Breath quite nice. Searing Charge he wants to bait, but Colt's out of the world ender. With a very good trade for Longxing, as this time Mole has to flash away. Quay goes in for the stun, wins the ward, dodged away from. Maybe LGD have gone too far. The shield is up, but you know what? Press the R button, and there you go. 450 gold over to Weiwei. Right in front of Dragon, LGD have no jungler.
V5 just doing a good job of taking advantage of a mistake coming out from Quay. He obviously just went a bit too far forward. V5 are able to punish. This isn't really a pick that V5 should have ever been able to get, but it will lead to them taking Dragon.
Garvey going in because he knows Mole doesn't have an ultimate anymore. Almost takes him down, but Dragon is the kill. While meanwhile, Pippi God has found a pick, but you know what? If an ult comes through, Chance could turn this around. Haymaker right down the middle, Galio ulti as well, and there's Chance for you. I told you, it's a set. Weiwei getting low, needs one more hit. Garvey secures it. Who's picked up a triple kill in the making. Trigger walks in. He wants the outplay button as well, but Garvey, the top laner, just picked up a quadra kill as an 80 carry.
Yeah, Garvey might not be an 80 carry, but we've always known this guy has very pristine mechanics, maining champions like Irelia and Akali, showing it here in this skirmish. And V5 might have been the ones to find a pick in mid lane and have a numbers advantage, but Garvey was the one to really start things off. And it doesn't really matter that V5 pick up an Ocean Drake. LGD are sitting here with a 3k gold advantage.
Someone paused it. They said, Garvey, I thought he was a top laner. I didn't know he was in this game.